How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you're halfway through your first semester in college. How are things going? Talk to me.
Things are good. I'm just, working a lot. I'm in school. I'm taking care of business. So a lot going on.
Okay, that sounds like you're keeping really busy. How many hours a week do you work?
It varies, but sometimes I can work up to 30 hours a week.
Is that manageable for you with all your classes and responsibilities?
I mean, it can be a lot, and sometimes I don't get a chance to do all my readings or all my homework. Some days I have energy, and some days I just go home and I just crash.
I could see how that would be really difficult to handle. It can definitely be a challenging task to manage so many different responsibilities, and especially when they're all very important to you.
Yeah, it can be pretty overwhelming sometimes. I've definitely missed class for work sometimes because I just can't get away, or I'm too tired to go sit in class after.
Okay. So how do you currently manage your responsibilities and this feeling of being overwhelmed?
I don't know. I just try to find time to do my schoolwork between class and work, but sometimes I just want to watch TV and I end up falling asleep instead.
Okay. So that could be something we take a look at. See what works best for you. There's some things that help us. There's some things that don't, and we just take a look to see how we move forward. How do those days where you just sleep or not pay attention to your classwork, how do those impact you?
Well, my grades have been suffering because I've been losing points from assignments and that I can't turn them in on time, and I've been missing class, but I really need the job to pay for school, so I'm trying to find a better way to make it work because I can't afford to lose my job or flunk out my first year of college.
I definitely understand. Those two are very important. They're going together to help you reach one of your goals. So sometimes we have to take a look at what we're doing, what's not working, what is working, and see where we can make adjustments to really improve how we feel about these things. What do you do that makes you feel the most stressed and overwhelmed? What are you going through those days?
I think when I don't plan things out, I let myself fall into distractions like TV or going out with my friends, and then I start feeling guilty and just overwhelmed because I know that there's other things that are pending that I need to take care of.
Yeah, definitely having those things in the back of your head can be overwhelming. So now we know a couple of things, and we can write some of these things down. Basically create a list and compare what you're doing that works, what you're doing that doesn't work, and that'll help us work together to come up with a strategy for how do we get what you want out of this. Okay? All right, so let's write some things down. So you already, negative is when you get distracted, so we'll write distractions, TV, going out, too much. That'll be some things that overwhelm you.
Okay.
So now let's talk about things that make you feel less overwhelmed, things that make you feel good, like you're in control. You mentioned planning. What does that involve, and what else do you do that helps you feel like you have a handle on things?
Well, I have this planner, and I like to use it to block out the times that I'm in school, when I'm scheduled for work, when I plan to do homework, because it helps me visualize my day better. But sometimes I let myself get lazy and I don't use it, or I just leave it at home.
Okay. So positive things are planning, so we can go ahead and write that down. Planning. Okay. So out of 7 days in a week, about how often do you think you look at your calendar, or how often do you use the calendar?
I usually do it on a Sunday to plan for the whole week, but the thing is that once I write in it, I don't really look at it for most of the week. I'll look at it for the first 2 days, maybe 3 days, but I don't really look at it again until I start feeling super overwhelmed and I start it all over on Sunday again.
Okay. So when you plan and actually look at your calendar each day is when you feel the most least overwhelmed and most organized.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think it would take for you to make sure you look at your calendar more often?
I'm not sure. Maybe I could take it with me all the time in my backpack, or I could take a picture of it and have it on my phone so I can look at it.
Okay, those are good options, definitely. Things that will work for you, you know. Do you have a routine that you do every day? It could also be an option to add looking at your calendar as part of that routine.
I do. I try to go for a run every morning. It helps me de-stress, and it helps me start my day feeling more positive.
And how many days a week do you go for a run?
Maybe 4 days, sometimes 5, sometimes 3 days. It depends on how I'm feeling, but when I'm not in school, I try to go for a run every single day.
Okay, so then we can add that to our list of positives. So running, that's definitely something that helps you de-stress. Exercise is a great way. And how would you feel about joining these two routines in your schedule? So planning and running. Would you run first and plan, or plan first and run? Like, do you feel like that's something that would help you?
I think I'd probably go for my run, and then with a clear head, I could look at my schedule for the day. I could plan how I'd use my free time for classwork and for other responsibilities.
I think that's a great idea. I think by joining these two activities that help you de-stress on their own, you're really starting your day on a very positive, motivated, and just more focused tone. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that it would help me have a better grip on things as I move throughout my day.
Okay. So taking those two positive coping strategies into mind, you know, the running and the planning, how do you think it would work for you to set some goals for the week, to look at your planner and to run maybe every other day?
It doesn't seem too unrealistic. I think that's manageable.
Okay, so we can take a look. We wrote that you currently look at your calendar up to 3 days a week, sometimes less, but up to 3 days a week. So we know you can do it 3 days a week, and you run at least 3 days per week. On your worst week, you run at least 3 days. So if we combine these two strategies and help you feel less stressed, you'll be increasing your times by doing it every other day to 4 times a week, and that ensures that you're feeling less anxious, less overwhelmed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
It's just adding one more day to what I'm already doing.
Exactly. And it will be a challenging thing to do. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but it won't be impossible, as you already mentioned. You're doing it 3 times a week already. It's just adding one more day and working on the frequency and, like you mentioned, consistency. Being consistent with those strategies. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's review things one more time. We agreed that you'll be adding your planning time and scheduling to your morning routine of going for a run. We're going to sign this paper. You're going to do it every other day, so that is a total of 4 times per week. We'll sign this paper as a contract, just to make sure that we're both on the same page for this agreement. And we'll shake hands to just seal the deal. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Of course.